Some of the resources you gathered were spent maintaining the Aurora and supporting the crew. Don't forget to prepare for the next stop. Check your remaining equipment. Thank you. We got a lot now. It's fine. This is not a problem anymore. I don't even need handgun ammo. Shouldn't have made that. Yeah, we're good. Haven't really used a grenade yet still. Everything is clean. I didn't use my weapons at all during the last two things. Yeah. Ammo pouches. We should be good. Acre rest? Oh, wow, we have a proper working toilet now. Yeah, I feel like some of this is a little bit inappropriate for a little kid to be around, but I guess that's just how it's gonna be. It's all made of steel and everything, and toilet paper. Wow.
A smoke break. That's good. Oh, this is one mean smoke. Damn, this is rough. Well, nothing we couldn't take.
No, I don't think I want to smoke. We're on the surface after all. Breathe in the fresh air.
Well, you're the right kind of guys. I mean, you, the Colonel, Duke, that guy did a swell job on that bridge. And now he's bragging about it like a child. He's a child, really, no, a child. But he's good. So, yeah, what did I want to say? Yes. Thank you. You people accepted me, and I'm a simple guy. I will pay the debt back, okay?
Without you, we wouldn't even have made it out of here.
So, how do you like it out here after your tunnels? Freedom, huh? Sure thing. So much space. It feels too empty to me, though. Just reeds and ruins and those damn mutants. Hate them. Phew. Though you guys are gonna see the government, so, bratucha, don't be mad, but just tell me, what the hell do you even need them for?
Oh, he doesn't really know why we're here.
Well, of course it might be interesting to take a look, but throughout all of my rambling, I only met two kinds of ex-government people. Dead ones and gang leaders. And let me tell you, the latter are much worse than your typical bandit. They just have to make a speech before doing something awful. So what I mean, I didn't really care about the government even before the war, much less now, when everything's long since gone to shit. So what for, really? I'm a simple man, Artyomich. I told I'm with you, that means I'm with you for the long haul. But I'd much rather find a nice place to live at than go see the government. Of course, they could give us luxury bunkers or something. Well, Artyom, you seem cold. Go get warmed up a bit, I'll smoke some more. Have stuff to think about.
All right.
Or just stay, we have enough space now.
I remember this exact same thing happening before, back at D6. Smoking in front of a non-smoking sign. Because we're all badass and stuff. Okay, so Cress has been living on the surface for as long as he's been alive, pretty much, right? He's never been in the metro. And it sounds like he hasn't had contact with the government either. I'm not saying that he should have had contact with the government like he's an official or something, but as a citizen of the country, you don't have contact with the government. The government that's saying, oh, we're not gonna tell people about the metro because we want you all to be safe. We want you to be underground and hidden away. Doesn't sound like the government's been doing too much, if anything at all. I'll be back, Anna. Wow, this is actually a really nice train cart now that we clean it up. When we infiltrated in, it felt so much like a dump, really. This is Miller's room. Very nice, very nice. I don't know everyone well enough to see whose room this is.
Artyom, come on in and have a seat. Stepan's putting on a live performance here.
We have two!
So, Artyom, are you up for a jam? Come on, pick the guitar up.
Yeah. Let's go, guys.
Thank you, Stepan.
I'm sorry to ask, Katya, but Nastya's father, he's dead, isn't he? Does Nastya know?
He is. I tried keeping it a secret. Told her he left for the market. Around 3 days passed, and I still kept it in. I just sat there with a needle in my hand and didn't see anything. It was all black before my eyes. And then she snuggles up to me and says, "You should cry, Ma. You will feel better." Seni used to say it. So I cried and cried. She knows. She knows it all.
I'm sorry, Katya. I'm so sorry.
Let me tell you how we ended up at the bridge. We used to live in northeast from here, quite close if you go in a straight line. But it took us a month. Everything's bombed to rubble out there. Yermak asked me and I told him. Sini used to say there were lots of military factories out there. Not just military, of course. General industry. And now you can't pass through there even with filters. The radiation is so high. No railway either, just crater upon crater. We were quite far, but our counter still went crazy. One route appeared intact. There was nothing to bomb. So we used that one, thinking we'd get further to the west, but of course they did not let us cross the bridge with the diesel. They said it was satanic. They were ready to let us stay if we gave them the diesel to cleanse it. So we stayed. And then we couldn't leave, even if we wanted. That old goat, Father Silentius, brainwashed everyone, so they would just pray and bow non-stop. They broke our diesel down with their bare hands and threw it into the river. Purification. And on top of it, they gave us trouble for not helping them. Ksenia went to check what was going on, and there were only locals there, because Silentius at the Skatina had sent our people away to test them. He said that if they wanted to be truly accepted, they had to defeat a demon. Ksenia went to stop them. But it was too late. He only found burnt rags. And then they sent him to do the same. He never came back.
Katya, I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, you really didn't. What's done is done. It kind of got so glum in here. Perhaps you, Stepan, could play us something.
Sure thing!
I'll leave you guys alone. feel a little bit uncomfortable about that gun being there like that, though. But, yeah. Ooh, creepy baby doll. Everyone out here has had it rough. Ironically, some of us might have had a better life in the metro. Because at least you get a real community of people, right? And I don't think we were doing super well in the metro, but at least you can be sure that someone will be around and maybe there is a nice person who's willing to help you out. But when you're out in the vast expanses, that's not guaranteed. Somebody like Katja, for example, might have preferred
Thank you.
the community in the metro.
Stop it already! Well, what did you expect?
Here's one of my favorites.
So, what's up with your plate carrier? Tokarev was mad.
It's a long story.
Come on, out with it.
Artyom, the
there I
colonel's
am,
waiting for
sitting
you
on
on
the
the bridge.
Looking at Artyom milling about below.
Oh, you are so full of it. Artyom did most of the work.
That he did, yeah, he did. But you don't have to interrupt my lies. You asked me about the Vest yourselves. Alright, go on. So I see Artyom get to the door, and I think it's time I came down. So I do. But something just holds on to me.
What does?
How should I know? It's dark, nobody around. But I can't move. And those locals kept going on about Tsar something. So I thought I was in a kind of a bind. So I just unfastened the safety and let down. There was that shed down there. The roof was kind of close.
And what about the Tsar?
Oh, blue, the Tsar was huge, scary as shit. There was this rusty bolt, and my carrier got snagged on it.
Well, you, Duke, are lucky you already have a nickname.
Duke of Darkness.
That's hilarious. And what was next?
Oh, next. Next we jumped that old preacher of theirs. Well, Artyom did most of it. He swooped in like a hawk. Yeah, he's good. While I was clamoring about those beams and fighting the Tsar. Oh, I'm killing myself. Well, he basically solved the whole problem.
True that. Good job, Artyom.
Thanks.
Yeah, you both did well. Crest also.
Yeah.
Sure, he did a swell job distracting those guards. I almost wet my pants with laughter when they started hauling that timber. He's an artist.
Is that what they would have done if I left them
he's
alone?
a great guy. You all came out on top of the game.
And that calls for what?
A drink.
You nailed it. You truly are one of us now, Sam.
That's
Will
so...
you be joining us?
Nah, not now. I'll have some at dinner.
Well, you'll have to catch up then.
Sure thing. Anyways, we will just have a little as a warm-up now.
Sam has been serving Miller for 20 years, and you tell him, now you're one of us!
Great!
No wonder he feels not trusted.
That's some good stuff.
I already drank.
Hey guys, there's something I've been thinking about. What does everyone expect of this trip?
Personally, I want to come back and tell Sveta of my adventures, so that she'd look at me with her huge gray eyes without blinking and keep saying, "You're such a hero, darling."
So you're expecting heroics and scars. That works.
And why did you come?
Well, my heart is aching for true romance. But in the metro, all women want a solid relationship, a reliable husband, a real provider. Enough of that smug smile. It's unbearable. Not that I've had much better luck here so far. As soon as Katya came aboard, Stepan started cooing around her like a peacock.
You know they're right there.
You should be happy. Katya is a tough girl. You'd be under her thumb in no time.
That is unlikely. I'm not the kind of man to upstage his friend in a contest for a lady. Especially when that friend promises to break my arm. I'll catch my stroke of luck soon enough. There in Yamantau, women from all over the country have already gathered, waiting for yours truly. How about you, Demir? What made you go?
Well, at first I just went along with you guys, the colonel. But even then I thought, this is my chance to make my dream come true. A chance to see Kazakhstan, my people.
Kazakhstan.
But first, we must come back to Moscow. Because it isn't fair. People must know that they've put up with enough. They are free. They can live outside now. What do you think about that, idiot?
I'm with you, Demir. Yet freedom is not so simple. There was this freedom fighter, Che Guevara. He died under 40. Comrade Mao, whose book you've been perusing on the other hand, was a strict ruler but lived a long life.
Well, we should have expected that from you. Weird thing, though, is that you are called idiot.
I know. It's by his own choice. Because he's so fond of Chekhov.
Chekhov too, of course. But it's Dostoevsky for the most part, Sam, my friend.
Sure, I read the book too. It's just that I mix them up a lot. Chekhov wrote about that son of Austerlitz, a wounded officer. Powerful imagery.
You are just killing me. How about you, Uncle Sam? Got dreams?
You know, I just want to ride my board again. Spark a joint up on a beach. Catch that wave. Deep inside, under a grizzled metro dweller, there's still a relaxed Californian inside me.
Ah, get out of here!
So you know, before Dad talked me into joining the Corps, I used to wear my hair long. He told me they'd make a decent citizen out of the total disappointment that I was, and sent me to college once I was discharged. I joined, and they sent me to the Middle East.
Wow, so do you hope your guys would pick you up? I don't see them around.
Yeah, I don't hold my breath for my guys. Once this mission's over, I'll submit my discharge papers. I'll reach the ocean, and there, find a ship maybe?
Oh yeah, just imagine it. You arrive on that ship, and they go like... Ah, the Russians are coming! You are one of us now. You don't really need to go anywhere.
At least don't put your Ushanka on. They will sink you on sight.
What's an Ushanka?
I won't, though I will take my balalaika with me.
Well... Who has any expectations for our reception at Yamantau?
Well, your expectations, Alyosha, are quite obvious, huh? Scantily clad junior officer ladies unrolling the red carpet.
Yeah, I'm a simple guy. How about you guys?
Well, I hope they will answer a few questions. For example, if there is not a single American within hundreds of miles from Moscow, save for our friend Samuel here, why stay underground?
I'd put it a bit differently. Did you, dearest High Command gentlemen, know that we in Moscow had to spend 20 years underground?
Oh, by all means, you can ask those while I'm enjoying my briefing with the junior officer ladies, huh?
I don't know. I'm in the mood for a road trip.
Oh, we got ourselves a true traveler here.
Yeah. We will have to live and see.
You are right.
We're not here for fun. It's not supposed to be a road trip. We're here to liberate the metro dwellers from the lies that have kept them underground for 20 years. But at the same time, this is everyone's first time being out of the metro for so long, as well as discovering that there's actually a ton of life out here. So I think it's understandable that people are excited, even though we shouldn't be. Because there's supposedly still a war going on and all that. Uncle Sam. Even though we're all relaxing right now, everyone's still wearing bulletproof vests. I guess that shows a military training. Whoa, sick tattoo, man. Oh, we have a piano here. This could come in handy. Shower! Oh, I'd kill for a shower right about now. Oh, the rabbits. So why do we have them again? I don't know. Yeah, they look a little bit different from the ones we saw in the wild, right? They don't seem as... or do they? Feels like they're a little bit smaller, but maybe it's because the cage is smaller. Whoa! Can we not put the rabbits staring at this? This is kind of sad. We're getting to a warmer place. More foliage, less snow. Spring.
Come here, Artyom.
Yeah. Hey, no one's doing the shoveling. Is that okay? Maybe we don't run on this anymore. Okay, I'm tired. Whew. I wish we got a clear picture of Artyom in the diary or something. Just a little bit curious. He's not the youngest here, but the second youngest. Duke is younger. Duke looked really young. He was like a kid.
Listen. I had a talk with the Ark. All thanks to Tokarev. He got the decoder working.
Really?
Ark, come in. Come in, Ark. Over.
This is Ark? Identify yourself. Over.
Oh, that's the recording.
Colonel Sviatoslav Myelnikov speaking. I'm in command of a special operations force. We have received your signal and are currently heading your way. Do you copy? Over.
Yes. Hear you loud and clear.
Who am I talking to? How do I address you?
The Deputy Chief of Communications Department, Major Ivanov. A moment.
Oh, yes, Major. I understand that the checkup is in order.
Great, Colonel. Melnikov? Simply capital. I am sorry for the lack of trust, but as you know, the situation is dire and the enemy is always ready to strike.
I do understand, Major, and I hope that you can tell the leadership that my people are true to their duty and will be at their full disposal as soon as we arrive. Over.
Thank you for the great news. How large is your force, Colonel?
I have a squad of the best operatives the Special Forces have to offer.
A squad? I see. Well, this is great. Great!
Yes, we aren't a large force, but we bring a message of extreme importance. We are heading towards you from Sector K6 Alpha. Do you have any data on enemy forces we might encounter on the way? Over.
Just a moment, I have to check. K6 Alpha, you say? As far as I can see, there have been no enemy encounters reported in the area, Colonel. I regret. I must end our conversation here, but know that we are waiting for your arrival. I am making my report immediately, and I am sure the Minister of Defense will be eager to see you.
This is a great honor. Thank you. Just a few words more, though. What is the general situation there, Major? Please.
Colonel, sir, you do understand this is classified information. But I do understand you. We are doing fine. Do not worry. Well, see you in the Ark. Over and out.
I serve the people. Over and out.
So, do you get this now, you doubting Thomas? I'm so excited my hands are still shaking. The minister himself! This is incredible! By the way, Artyom, you should take a look at the map. As you can see, we are heading almost straight for the Yamantau complex. Katya and Crest tell me that the line there is in decent condition. Surprising, really, taking into account the number of priority targets there. So we can hope for smooth sailing from here, and right to the very destination. It's not even that far, but our speed depends on the state of the track. So I think it's going to take us quite some time to get there. So, Yermak, where were we?
You were saying, it's all about results.
Ah, yes. These soft-bellied attitudes must stop. The ends do justify the means.
Well, I don't object. But not all ends can be called just.
Exactly. And this is why I have been waiting for a chance like this for ages. And now everything seems to be coming together. It's the government. Don't you understand?
Oh, but of course.
You don't seem to quite grasp the importance, which is unexpected, especially after the news you just heard.
Yes, well, say there is a government. So what? We spent so many years apart, so why worry now?
Ah, but don't you see? They probably knew nothing about us. With the sheer power of enemy strikes directed at Moscow, they never expected so many of us to survive. And now we get to tell them Moscow still lives. And not only that, it also preserved a functioning civilization. Do you get that? All these years we were fighting a losing battle for mere survival. And now we have a new goal.
And what would that goal be?
You don't get this, do you? The command center should have all of the command and control networks, all the intelligence. They should know where all the nukes hit, have complete fallout maps. They have everything. Information rules the world. And Metro is chock full of people. Put two and two together, we could repopulate the country. Yeah, of course, not at once. First, we might have to take the country back. But we'll be doing this under the direction of a real government. People with all the necessary skills. And in the end, we will break out of the underground dead end we are in.
It would be nice, sure. By the way, I meant to ask for some time now. How did you learn about the Yamantau bunker, Colonel?
Oh, the information about the Ark project I have is beyond a doubt. I'm saying this as a GRU officer. I had colleagues working there, preparing evacuation plans. So I've been briefed into it officially.
So, now we just have to get there. And we will. We will. The journey won't be easy, though.
We were never looking for an easy way.
Yes. I've been thinking about that for a long time. The Central Industrial District, a priority target. Katya did confirm my suspicions. The tracks might have survived partially, but the state they're in, though, is most likely terrible. I think we'll have to fix sections of the track.
I think our people can handle it. Besides, I'm sure there will be sidetracks.
What do you think could have happened in the relatively intact territories in the meantime?
That's a good question. Well, we are going to learn it pretty soon.
Yes. Yes, that we will.
feel like Euromac's not that optimistic. And I share Euromac's unease too, anxiety, because I think at this point I would be very surprised if things actually pan out the way Miller envisions it to.
Well, let us talk business for a change. Namely, the engine status. All right. Is the pump in order now?
Yes, we have fixed it.
How much time will it take to refill the water tank from now on?
Around 3 hours if we don't have to clean the filters.
Do we have any spares, just in case?
We do, but not the whole set, just the rough one.
A shame. Have we got oil, at least?
Oh, sure. We have enough to get to Vladivostok if need be.
Well, I doubt we'd have to go that far. But at least something is in abundance. The pipes?
As I have told you already, it's high time for an overhaul. Crest and I did our best removing the line buildup, but...
Well, we just can't afford that. Are you finished with all the checks?
Looks like it. But let's have another go, just in case.
Yes, that can't hurt. How much time will it take to refill the water tank from now on?
Again?
Around 3 hours if we don't have to clean the filters.
Do we have any spares?
I see why Miller is so excited. Because he is right, the whole time, the whole 20 years. Especially as someone who's lived through the entire 20 years, plus the stuff before that led to the 20 years. Each day, the only thing that we wished for was to be able to make it to the next day. Especially with the threat of the mutants and the dark ones and everything going on around the metro. But it's not gonna pan out the way he thinks. It's not. You heard the radio thing. No enemies in the area again. And that guy that we were talking to, who even is he? I don't know, I'm just really skeptical of the whole thing. I think we should manage our expectations. Everything that we're doing right now is on Miller's word. That really freaks me out. Not that I don't trust him, but it's one person's word. A single person. Is there really a government? If there is a government, why is there no countrywide messages and whatnot?
We do, but not the whole set, just the rough one.
Thanks, guys. Keep the train running.
Is the pump in order now?
Well, I think we should go back and probably finish up reading the diary, and then we can set off again.
There was another. How did it go?
More songs?
Here goes.
Hey, Duke. Oh, stretch your legs, boy. Oh, there's like 4 compartments in one thing. It's kind of cramped. Then Miller gets his own one. And I get my own one too.
So, what was it? The Colonel is always right, and we're just filling our heads with damn ideas.
We get our own one probably because of me and Anna being a thing. Creatures. Watchmen. These annoying beasts hunt in packs, and if you see one, you'd better dispose of it immediately. Otherwise, it might howl and call the rest of the pack. And it will howl as soon as it sees you. Yup, I learned that already. Demons. These giant flying mutants, comfortably occupying the position of the apex predator in the food chain of the poison wasteland, stretching above the tunnels of Moscow. Stretching above the tunnels of Moscow Metro, have, thanks to their enormous physical strength, speed and aggressive demeanor, successfully settled a huge territory that is hardly surprising, as there are very few animals capable of ever facing a demon. Those that could fight it, one-on-one and win, are even fewer and further between, while a demon can easily fly away from any of them. Luckily, because of these strengths, the demons, like the large birds of prey of the past, prefer to live and hunt alone or in very small groups, and thus do not present an immense threat to a careful traveler. What is this a mutated thing of? A bat? It's gigantic though. I'm just kind of wondering what animal is the base thing. Because these are all mutated from a base animal, right? Humanimals! Like the other mutants created by radioactive fallout, these nightmarish creatures feel right at home in the inhospitable post-war world. Despite clearly being descended from humans, these creatures are not really that smart, resembling apes in their behavior. They live in packs, don't use any tools, and defend themselves mostly by throwing stones from a distance. One such mutant is not much of a threat, but a fight against a pack of these is hard to survive. Our first encounter with these creatures happened on the banks of Volga. In the open, they seemed harmless, and even pathetic, their ugly appearance accentuated by the sluggishness of their movements. Yet, inside the abandoned loading terminal building, they proved to be more than just troublesome to me. It became apparent that besides throwing stones, they were also capable of ambushing their prey by hiding in shallow water. It's only been 20 years since the nuclear fallout, but there's so many new animals already. 20 years for evolution? Really? Starfish. Generally a giant mutant catfish, terrorizing. The fishman would seem to be a dubious object of worship at best, but Salantius still managed to indoctrinate the locals. He'd brainwashed into believing the monster was sent to the Earth with a divine mission. This is like one sentence. Oh my god. Shrimp, female. Oh, there's a difference. A mysterious aquatic life form, seemingly crustacean. Of course, you can't be sure these days, as far as I know. Nobody ever thought of properly researching them and finding their proper place in classification. What we know is that they have strong carapaces, are aggressive predators, and as such, inherently dangerous. The females of the species tend to attack in packs, spitting corrosive mucus from the distance, or when they think they can easily finish their prey, going in for a kill with their disgusting leash-like mouths. I hate them. Oh, I never really realized there was a difference, where the males have bigger, what do you call it? Not paws, claws, yes. What we know is that they have extremely strong carapaces, are aggressive predators. The males of the species tend to live solitary lives and are extremely territorial. Once they see anything they deem a threat, they immediately attack, using their massive forelimbs as clubs and shields at once. Ah, so these are the ones that are aggressively attacking us, and probably the female ones are the ones that run away. Dog. One dog. The common dogs seem to be no match for the messed up world of the surface, but they manage to survive despite being surrounded by mutants and human enemies, so they definitely are a threat to be considered, especially when you consider their keen senses and ability to easily alert their masters to your presence. Lurker. Ah, these are the little ones. While lurkers are far from being the strongest or meanest mutants around either the metro or on the surface, they are still a danger to be considered, especially for a lonely wanderer. They are a colonial burrowing species. As such, they protect themselves from the larger predators by constructing lots of interconnected burrows in close proximity to each other and hiding in them if sufficiently threatened, while keeping the surroundings under constant observation in search for danger or potential prey. When in a lurker-infested area, you can never guess which burrow a bloodthirsty creature might appear from, though you can bet it will most often be the one that you're not looking at. Yeah, that was really scary that one time we were walking past the nests, and then I turned around, and there were like 50 coming for me. Equipment. Gas mask vital in Moscow. You couldn't even hope to go outside without one. But not anymore. I had hoped I'd be able to get rid of it on the surface, but it looks like that was just a pipe dream. There are lots of places here where this stuffy thing becomes a necessity. That was always our knowledge anyway. Charger. My tried and true manual crank charger made from a scooter alternator, a stabilizer, a transformer, a battery, and metal shears. How often did I have to listen to it whir, waiting for the flashlight to come back to life? Frankly speaking, I'd love to cut down on the times. I have to keep squeezing it. But 20 years after Judgment Day, decent rechargeable batteries are kinda hard to come by, so we all have to use the restored and re-restored ones. and these hold charge just a little better than a bottomless bucket holds water. Besides, this little charger can, in times of emergency, power things much larger than a flashlight or a night sight. Since it can generate some decent power, it usually takes a lot of cranking to do that though. Notepad. The map. Mission parameters. It's a marvel of technology. Surprisingly, Light now includes a map with an automatic course plotter, showing my current location, a radio for communicating with the HQ, a compass, and a notepad. Oh, so in-world, this is like a computer, kind of. How does it show your location automatically? It's like an iPad. Wow. Oh, and a notepad, which I am planning to use to record my profound thoughts, interesting observations, and other things noteworthy. Perhaps one day I might even turn it all into a memoir. Artyom, I don't know how good of a writer you are. I wouldn't bet on it. The binoculars Crest gave to me turned out to be an invaluable gift back in Moscow. Even on the surface, there was no real need for a pair, but here they do help me out a lot. Of course, you could take a good look at something from a considerable distance using an optical sight, but a wider field of view, greater magnification, and above all, binocular picture allow to get a good grasp of relative positions of points of interest and distances between them, making the binoculars a must when marking such point on a map. Bracers. Used to mount vital pieces of equipment like Geiger counters and watches for keeping track of gas mask filter usage. Yup. Light indicator. Time. Time is the most important thing. Haven't really been using the lighter too much. But the loading screens were actually reminding me that, hey, if you ever run into a situation where there is too much radiation and your flashlight doesn't work, remember, you always have a lighter. This piece of trench art I got from Sukhoi, my adoptive father, has been with me through a lot, but its value is far from just sentimental. I always rely on it whenever I need to start a campfire, find my way out of a dark tunnel by following the faintest draft, go through a spider-bug lair and want to get rid of their cobwebs, or simply need a backup light source, and it never fails. Oh, I remember the spider-bug lair. Ugh, hate that place. Spartan suit. Not just a uniform. Considerable degree of environmental protection, which when combined with a gas mask allows Spartans to be reasonably safe. The suits also accommodate a modicum of armor and padding, ensuring when combined with an armored vest, flexible and reliable protection that can be easily configured for heaviest of engagements or reconnaissance missions, when swiftness of movement becomes the main priority. Night vision goggles. Before the war, the night vision goggles were a valued commodity in the military forces, even moderately concerned with whether carrying out stealthy operations or effectively foiling those with relative fragility of such devices and perpetual darkness of the tunnels. Their value and importance in the metro grew exponentially. You know, one thing that really doesn't help is I can't tell if that dot is a comma or a period. It looks the exact same. Obtaining a working specimen is a rare luck, and even the Order could never manage to procure enough to make night vision goggles a piece of standard issue equipment for all of its fighters, providing them only for specific operations. Still, all the helmets issued by the Order have the necessary mounting points, and our standard power packs, usually reserved for feeding our flashlights, have additional sockets, which all the Spartans can use to plug such goggles into should they obtain one. And we do have one. Seems like it's a pretty rare thing. Oh my gosh. How many do we have? Oh, we have so many here. These are weapons. I'm gonna skim. Kalash is the standard weapon, the standard assault rifle. With some mods, it can be turned into a weapon of a different class, from a short machine pistol that excels at close range to a light machine gun. This does not mean that the underlying concepts, simplicity and reliability, have been sacrificed either. Even though my Kalash is many years my senior, it saved my bacon on many an occasion, and would shoot like nothing happened, even after taking a dip in the marsh. Weapons are something we people are definitely good at making. They will probably be ready to kill years after there remains nobody on the face of the planet capable of pulling the trigger. Oh, don't say that, Artyom! That's so depressing. We're gonna make it out alive, okay? The Shambler is the shotgun. What would be the Achilles heel of a shotgun? The long reload cycle, perhaps. And to remedy that, it looks like the designer of this monstrosity was ready to sacrifice anything. Reliability, simplicity, even the common sense. Still, in terms of sheer firepower, this cross between a meat grinder and a lawnmower is second to none. And Tokarev says that, despite its freakish looks, it won't explode in my arms in the nearest future. Of course, if I exercise necessary caution and clean it regularly, I guess I'll pretend I believe him. Tihar? Frankly, I didn't even recognize that the Tihar was a weapon when I saw it for the first time. This remarkably ugly masterpiece of the armory station's designers they'd been driven into making by the eternal shortage of ammo. It's not an issue anymore, but remember back in the tunnels, we used to use ammo as currency. And one mistake that, people often made was accidentally firing money. There was a different mode for the gun that made it so that you can fire the currency and it would be stronger. But, obviously you don't want to do that most of the time because then you'd be really poor once you reach the next station. Has proven to be indispensable for the Order's operatives. Not only does Tihar shoot the ubiquitous bearing balls, it is also practically noiseless. Packs a wallop and is quite accurate over short distances, naturally. It's an ideal special operations weapon for the conditions of Metro. Earlier, when we were sneaking past Atlanteus, twice I used this gun to open a lock. I think it's quieter than meleeing it, right? So it really saved my height there. Although the second time, somebody did hear me. Of course, you gotta mind not just the ammo in the magazine, but also the air reservoir pressure. Though Tokarev has at least improved the value so that the air does not escape unless you actually shoot the weapon. Good. Without that option, it's practically unusable. Yup. In the Metro, where ammo is worth its weight in gold, a weapon's reload speed is usually a distant second or even third priority, while its reliability and simplicity become critical. That's why the armory station started producing copies of ancient Nagant revolvers. Soon, they learned that even 7 bullets sometimes are not enough to stop a charging the Salus. So they had to switch to a more powerful and exotic for Russia. .44 Magnum caliber. A hit with one of these is usually enough to kill a mutant on the spot. Really? I didn't really get that impression. And that is exactly why such revolvers were a welcome addition to the Spartan Order's arsenal. Besides, due to the fact that they retain the Nagant revolver's gas sealing mechanism, they can be fitted with suppressors and modifications introduced by our gunsmiths. Let them accommodate any other add-ons, from carbine-type stocks to night vision sights. Yeah, this is the shotgun that we have, not the Shambler. The Shambler has a bunch of, springs on it. Simpler than a shotgun. Shotgun ammo is easier to hand-load than any other kind. Popularity of this class of weapons is nothing surprising. Anything from 1 to 4 barrels. Oh, if we can get 4 barrels, that would be so good. Not counting different chokes, stocks, recoil compensators, and sights, even within the Order, the only standard as far as the shotguns are concerned is their caliber. Lots of modifications. Bastard. Yeah, basically saying that this is a bastard because it's not really, it's like a makeshift gun from random scraps we have here and there. It's a gunsmith's nightmare. But, decent enough, and it's way better than having no gun. But it has a propensity to jam when it overheats. Yeah, but it's still pretty strong. A decoy. An improvised noise decoy attracts the attention of humans and beasts alike with a loud rattling noise it produces. I don't like how people get immediately alerted. I wish they would be more like, huh, what was that? Investigate, and then get over it, right? But then they don't. They seem to get permanently thrown off. Knives. Perfect stealthy short-range weapon by killing people. Explosive. Makeshift grenade is essentially a length of steel pipe filled with explosives, but it can still be quite deadly if it goes off close enough. Molotov cocktail. Primitive incendiary device. Very dangerous. Okay, that is it. That was a lot for one go, but next time, probably we're gonna have less. It's just gonna be the crew that's gonna update maybe, and new world creatures. Yeah. As expected of somebody from the military. Artyom has a lot of thoughts even on the weapons.
Do you think that when we come back to Metro, they will believe us? They who live there, bury their folks there, feed their children with rat meat. I agree with Father when he says it was the only way to preserve civilization. But what do you think they will find easier to believe? That they'd be able to get out to the surface and live there like they once did? Or that they'd spent 20 years underground for nothing, just because secrecy demanded they stay there? Just because they didn't have the fucking security clearance? I simply don't know, Artyom. I only know that even if we ever go back there, and it's a big if, I'm definitely not staying. My home is here, somewhere on the surface. I just don't know where yet. And thank you, Artyom. No matter what Dad says, thank you for leading us outside. I'm sorry. Alright, I'll stop going on.
Besides the whole security clearance thing, it's a fact that the surface is dangerous though, because of radiation and all. So keeping that in mind, it still might be the better option for most of the people in the metro to stay in the metro because the underground... I guess there's an implication that the underground is safer than the surface because at least the number of creatures is limited. Is that true? I feel like it should be, but I don't know. Well guys, if you're all ready, I think we should get going into...
Here's one of my favorites.
Oh my god, you have so many, Stepan. Should have been a guitar player. Hey man, where'd the other guy go? Idiot? He went somewhere else.
A shame.
Oh.
Have we got oil at least?
Hey man.
Well, hello, my brother in arms. Need a warm up, huh?
No thanks. You do you.
Oh, sure. We'll have to get to Vladivostok if need be.
Okay,
Well,
Miller.
I doubt we'd have to go that far. But at least something is in abundance. The pipes.
We're heading
As I have told you already,
east.
it's high time for an overhaul. Crest and I did our best removing the line buildup, but